Hi, it's Alaska Granny. Are you storing enough food for your long-term food storage prepper pantry? Do you really have enough if you had to start relying on just the food that you had in your pantry? I read a comment recently when someone said you only need three things: 200 pounds of rice, 90 cans of vegetables, and 20 cans of chicken, and you have enough food for a year. And I'm like, what? That doesn't quite make sense. That doesn't add up. If you just look at what you eat in a day, you have more of a variety of that to begin with, but you also are not including the amount of food that you would eat in a day. Just look at the 200 pounds of rice. If you divided that up by 365 days a year, you're getting a little more than a half a pound of rice per day. Well, raw rice has 1,655 calories per pound. Then you can only eat a little over a half a pound of rice a day for that to be your entire meal. And that would give you roughly between 800 and 900 calories. How about the 90 cans of vegetables? There are 365 days in a year, so I guess you get to have a can of vegetables every fourth day. Is that going to be enough vegetables to keep you full and satisfied, give you enough variety and nutrients? How about 20 cans of chicken? There are still 365 days in a year, so you can only eat a can of chicken once every 18 days. Is that enough food? Is that enough variety? Is that a fulfilling amount of food that can actually sustain a person for an entire year? And the answer is no. First of all, a diet that consists of mainly rice is not enough nutrients for you. That's why we're always suggesting that you store rice and beans. You need the combination to be getting all of the food that you need. You need to be having more things than just rice. Having vegetables every 4 days is simply not enough. What about fruit? You don't have any fruit at all? And meat every 18 days? If you don't have any beans or anything else that's going to give you protein, that is absolutely not enough to sustain you. 1 can of chicken every 18 days is nowhere near enough protein. Why just chicken? There are many varieties of meat that you can add to your prepper stockpile. The point is, if you don't really stop and figure out what foods you actually eat, the quantity of foods that you eat, and figure out how to replace those in your pantry, you could be making some tragic mistakes. Nobody wants to go to their cupboards and they're bare and there's nothing to feed their family. So take the time to figure out, how much do you actually eat? What are the varieties of foods, and how can you have them in a shelf-stable prepper pantry format that they're going to last? Yes, dried foods are great. So are canned foods. But you need a much bigger variety and a much more quantity of food than just rice, vegetables, and chicken. So don't be lulled into thinking, wow, look how many cans of food I have. This is going to last forever. You need to actually figure out, how long would it last? Is it enough? Do you have enough variety? And are you getting the nutrition that you need from the foods that you have in your prepper pantry stockpile? Having enough food is vital, and having a variety also makes sure that you're getting the nutrition that you need and that you're avoiding the food fatigue that can make life almost unbearable. So figure out the foods you need while it's still readily available, and stock up until you're sure that you actually have the foods you need that could last as long as possible. And it's foods that you're willing to eat, you know how to cook, and then you'll be able to make the best of whatever comes your way. If you enjoyed my video, I hope you'll share it with someone else you think might like it. Please subscribe to the Alaska Granny channel.